So was that the bottom, or is this the dead cat bounce? Oh, this isn't the bottom. You think they can give it to you that easy? Come on now. Good thing you guys asked for that zone last night, though. Was that not pitch perfect or what? Is pitch perfect the right word? Picture perfect, not pitch perfect. It's been a long day. A long day. Hey, not toot my own horn, but man, did we jack around with these zones that we drew last night. A lot. Futures, we gapped up, we're open, we're up. Send it. I'm curious. Now, the reason why I can't give you guys a lot and why Lori says no rants, they're almost any explanation or connecting any two dots probably just going to be right down the rabbit hole. Robinhood shut off theirs. I wonder if they just want everyone to chill out. And there's a lot of people that think you couldn't log on to your brokerage was a kind of like Michael Burry saying, I'm not selling anything. You guys need to chill out. So the brokerage doesn't allow you to sell. If they take the sell button off, they saw what happened to Robinhood. So now they got to do it behind the scenes and not tell you to don't panic. So I am kind of betting there's probably some of that. Wide stops on shares with the volatility. Your two options are wide stops, and it might take you a little bit extra longer to stop out. Or if you can babysit it and play the in and out game, you can run it nice and tight, but you're going to have to have some quick hands for that. As far as the dollar goes, got just shy of that weekly zone. So a little bit of a gap up. And we talked, if you saw me talking to Matt in the main chat earlier, I'm so 50-50 on do I add on to the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, or is it going to bounce? And it did bounce. So I'm about to actually add on right now, as a matter of fact, I think. Dollar with a little bit of a bounce here. The only thing I even care for is should I add on here, or do I think it's going to be a little bit more green and then add on? Or do I just take the best of both worlds and just do both, add on here and add on up there? I can tell you guys, I hit the 50K mark as far as this trade goes on my U.S. dollar Japanese yen trade. That P&L is swinging. When this green candle moved, it went from I'm above 50K to just below 50K. I did actually have a stop. Two of them did tag out. I had two lots. It was 144. Yeah, because it was right above these green wicks right here. So that did tag it out. Your Forex count hit 50% up today. Isn't it wild how fast things move with Forex, Cody? Congrats. Oh, thank you. 950,000 more to go. I've made 50,000 before on a trade. I've made up to 97,000 on a trade. That's my I guess that's in one day. That's my PR. And we're not going to get to $1 million on this without it moving 100 grand in one day either. So that's going to be a learning experience for me. So maybe if you're not in this trade, buckle up and just enjoy the show, because you're going to watch me just freak out. Not literally, but you're going to watch that thing about I'm up 800 grand. I'm only up 650 grand now. That's emotionally going to be I don't know if it's a big pill to swallow, if it's more like trying to swallow a monster can. What's your profit target to get to your goal? My goal is $1 million. And honestly, if it actually does sell off, because I'm just going to keep adding on. So the profit target is actually down here at the 110 mark. If it can get back just to this median range, not even send it lower, just get back to here, I could make a lot more. If it just went down to there and all I did was add on, I'd make more than $1 million. It's I don't know if I have the ability to actually hold all of them. I'm already playing the in and out game with a couple lots. So I want to, but what scares me is last time is, remember when I went all in and you guys made fun of me, and thank God you did, because I did tag out and I made something on there because it turned around. We had like almost not an identical move, but it turned around and ended up just going right back up. Don't think that's the case this time, because Japan had its worst day since 1987. It wasn't even alive back then. It did bounce off the monthly zone. We're going to go into let's go into the daily. They're blaming all the selling on U.S. They're blaming all the selling on the Japanese. Yeah, the Yeki, the Neki. Yeah, it's Nikkei. So drop down, hit that zone. So ultimately, they're holding this yellow. I don't care. I can kind of see us popping next week. And this is what I told Matt in the chat earlier. Is I could see next week being green, just as an oversold bounce. But even like when I'm talking with Cody, it's we drop down and it does these just little pitiful, like, here comes the bounce, and then it just like, nope, here comes the bounce, absolutely not. Another one, no, we're really oversold. No, you're not. How about now? Not even close. And it just keeps like throwing off these like sideways candles. And it's really making me not want to play the in and out game. And I know that's FOMO, so I'm kind of thinking out loud here with this, is how do I take the best of both worlds without going short, deleting the app, and checking it in a year, you know? Leave it to Don to break the market. My baby's birthday tomorrow. She was born in 79. Oh, nice. Yep, there went a house, yeah. Target buys the G6. I'm pumped for this. It's the first time I've actually been able to say, yeah, I'm going to make $1 million on this, and it be not real, but obtainable, realistic. If I'm right. If the downside is if we jack around, it's easy to hold when we're doing this, because all I'm doing is just moving my stop up, and I mean hardly. This thing has so much wiggle room. Remember when I told you guys people like to make 30 pips a week? I'm up 1,200 pips, just getting wrecked. Well, whoever on the other end of that is. I'm not gonna like this chop. Maybe if it chops out, that'll end up being a good thing, 'cause I'll get used to some chop. I'd rather it chop around now when I'm throwing around 10, 15,000 versus 100 to 150,000. Because I guess here's my main point. If I tag out, so I'm in these positions, and as it builds that cushion, I'm adding on. So it's I'm just kind of staying in my safe space, you know. If I end up messing up and tagging out, there's no way I'm going to jump back in with that amount. Absolutely not. The risk just wouldn't even be, I would not be able to do it. So, you know, like let's say let's just flip this around. I am so short. I finally tag out. Let's say I'm 7 lots. 10 lots, 12 lots, 15 lots, 20 lots. One lot is 100,000 units. So I'm in this thing 200,000. Yeah. And by that I mean 2 million, not 200,000. So I'm in this thing 2 million, you know, down here. And then it pops back up. There's no way I'm going to hop back on that red candle and just say, open that up. We're going to start the bid at 2 million. You know, that's just not. I'm going to have to get back in the way I did it, and couple lots, add on, hopefully don't chop around, add on. And by that time, we've probably made it to the destination where I'll need to peel it back anyway. So that's why it's you've heard me talk a lot about this, and why I think it's absolutely crucial that I get psychologically the bulk of it up here. So everything else, like this is going to be my main tree trunk. Everything else is just going to be tiny little branches coming off of it. Glad you corrected yourself. Yeah. I would say 200,000 sounds very small, because I feel like I'm way over that right now. One of my positions is 3 lots. It's 300,000 just by itself. But anyway, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Finally did get to make a Facebook post, because I told you guys it was going to 50. So shout out to anybody that bought at 50. You're up 10%. It's not a bad time. Probably also not the bottom. Bitcoin, I could see that being a bottom, because I could see this chopping around. Maybe we touch it again. Maybe nothing meaningful happens, but we take off enough time in the markets, and things do happen. We do start to correct, and we start to really hammer that dollar down. Bitcoin could be the spicy one. I would much rather be in Bitcoin than gold as far as a U.S. dollar hedge. So that one, I'm not going to call the bottom out on anything, but if there was something I could, there's a couple tickers, Nvidia and Bitcoin. I would just not be surprised if we did see the bottom this morning. You know, not to say we don't get close or that I don't think the fireworks are done at all, but to absolutely break that, or maybe we break it slightly. You know, let's call this the bottom, give or take a couple ticks. Nothing I would etch in stone. I just wouldn't be surprised. But S&P. Here is the part that is going to confuse a lot of traders. Kind of the conversation back with Cody, right, is what time frame are you on? Because ultimately, as a daily zone, that zone held. Yeah, it dropped all the way down to that zone. So we went zone to zone, zone to zone, all in a smaller time frame. But take out all the noise and all that, what do? We sold off from here to here. Inside the panic and absolute craziness, we got a little crazy, right? There were some tears, there was some horizontal crying today for sure, and then we came back up, and it's even if we take the wick off, still a great red day. Do you remember our conversation of small, medium, and large candles? That was a large with the side of guac, and throw on an extra drink too, extra cheese as well. As far as this, I do think this is a dead cat bounce. I think we got a little extended. We got a little carried away. Everyone keeps talking about the Feds are going to do an emergency rate cut. Nothing's broken yet. Well, we're just merely talking about it. These are almost talking points, and that's it. So this is an overreaction. We can talk about it being from Japan. The absolute hilarious part, and what I will not stand for in the chat, because I'm already annoyed with it, this is not the Trump trade crash, the Donald Trump crash, or the Kamala crash. If you call it either one of those, it's just your lack of knowledge in the markets. Neither one of those two can move markets, let alone on a global scale. Let the peons worry about the stupid stuff. Focus on price action. I'm seeing so much of that on Facebook. I eventually, not that I wasn't busy enough already, I quit going on Facebook today. I was like, this is, nobody said it here. And I haven't yet. If it did pop up, I would have deleted it. Yeah, so there's no politics in this at all. But I do like that none of you guys have attributed it to that. Even the ones that follow the news haven't even said that, which is this. It's what makes this chat like my safe space, because I know I'm not going to open this chat and think, what an absolute idiot. I'm going to be ranting for 3 hours tonight on this guy's comments. But anyway, price action, more important than ever right now. And it's, wow. Remember when we thought that was high on the VIX? Remember just last night we were talking about this? The VIX is up. And then Papa Bear came in. It was like, cool story, bro. Oh my. I did not even see the VIX this high today. Man, that means we are for sure not done yet. You probably could have bought the dip on the VIX today. Just know that if you do buy the VIX, I might agree, I might disagree, but we're not holding hands on this one. There's just not the same in and out buyers that I'm usually with, and this is emotions at its core. So having just there's not a chance I could have the execution I have on all my tickers on the VIX. Rona levels, knew it was fishy. Yeah, that's nuts. So that's why tonight we're about to breeze the rest of the tickers, and it's going to take 2 seconds. Because this being up, possible dead cat bounce, it looks like Nvidia is going to be an awesome play for us, because we did sell that contract. It kind of pushed up, almost made it to the zone. It tagged the zone later. We sold that contract, and then it went sideways. To me, that was just a little bit too much of we're asking for it. We sold the 110s, which is already in the money below our cost. And I chose the 110s just because I didn't think we would get there. If we did, we're certainly not going to stay, because I just don't think the selling is done yet. So what are we in management mode for a week? If we get awkward timings, so be it. But just that choppiness alone brought that down. And Vega decided to step out for a smoke break, so we bought that contract back. It was, 37% up. So we locked that in. Nvidia is up after hours. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. We'll see what overnight brings as far as this goes. We did gap up around this zone. I don't know if we're gearing up for another rip your face off rally. To have them back to back like that, with the VIX being this high, it's on the table and it is square in your face. It's not even hidden in that tiny print somewhere. So we very much could, but let's see where we're at in the morning, because I'm going to sell another NVIDIA call. But let me just bring up the ticker while we're here. The expected move has it at 117 and will probably be more around there this time. Even selling the 110s, I was like, man, we were so far down here. I was like, at least volatility's high enough that with an expected move of what, $7, you know, like what are the odds? Probably not the best question to be asking with volatility this high. All right, NASDAQ, same thing. Almost hit that zone. We're checking the zone right now. Let's go skip back real quick. We got outside the expected move, came back in. So we're asking for it on a lot. It's today's Monday, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Today's Monday. We are already outside. This is like a Tesla move. How many times have we seen Tesla on Monday or Tuesday hit that expected move? And we're like, man, we got the rest of the week to go. This is great. This was Monday's open. Already feels like Thursday? Yeah. Not only did we not spend all day getting there, we literally opened up there and looked around. Hey, what's up? The market maker said, not yet, not yet. It's a surprise. Get back in. I said, all right, whatever. Scoot it back in. NASDAQ, not much to break down here. Looks just like the ES. Same thing. Came right outside, brought it right back in. Now, not to get anybody hopes up. If that was the dip buy, cool. If you're a bear right now, this is the one thing I would be genuinely concerned about. So I'm speaking to Pick or Dom if he's still short by any means. I would not even flinch if tech sent it all up to the upper edge of the expected move. Palantir's trying to save the market. When is Nvidia earnings? Is that next week? Yeah, right. At the end of the month, we got some time. You guys know how fast we can forget about things, right? You know, Palantir said AI was good. I didn't even listen to the earnings call, but hey, AI is good. All we need is even a spark inside something AI, because all the big tech names are involved in AI. That's going to move something. So it's not like we even need a huge catalyst. We just need somebody to say two letters, and that is going to rip that thing right to the expected move. At this expected move, if we do get that, call me Winnie the Pooh, because I'm going to go short. I'm going to go short a lot. I'm grabbing my jar of honey, and I'm going to sit back and I'm being hog heaven. I guess it's worth, because I said that, probably worth noting, we'll probably go 2 standard deviations up. Cody will hate it because he'd probably just sold a position, and then it goes 2 standard deviations up. Just kidding. But what an absolute crazy time. VIX, there's that stock rotation everyone was talking about. And by rotation, what they meant was the tango, the waltz. Everyone's just kind of rotating and holding hands together. I do like the penguin waddle, so I'm not really involved in this. But whatever dance where everyone just holds hands and starts rotating around the dance floor, that's what I think is going on with the Russell. The Russell and the Natalie 100. Now that looks like a dead cat bounce. Yeah, this one did just bounce out of the zone, and not one I would buy again if it does hit there. I will say, how many times have we made fun of the Russell at these zones? The ones that I draw in bright yellow, because if we zoom way far out, it's just a giant horizontal channel, and we call it the imagine not buying zone. It's probably worth taking a peek at, because if we hit that this week, it's probably still good for a dead cat bounce. There's probably still some kind of life in there. James. Sounds Greek. But where are we at in the expected move? Everything got, man, it really is like, you know what happened is like the nerd, what are they called? They're not slaves, they're interns, right? It's like the intern was like, he got the memo that we're going to crash this market this week, but he didn't read all the pages that it's going to be like Thursday or Friday. He's like, all right, so, all right, IWM, we're going to take that thing sub 200. Okay, QQQ, we're probably going to hit around the 4s. Same with the 5s. And just opens the gate and says, all right, my boss is going to love me. I'm going to do this all right now. And they said, no, that's not what you do. No, stop. That's later. And then brought it all right back in. Every one of these has the exact same picture.